Hey everyone, in this video we will discuss the number of dimensions that make sense in Power BI, and we'll just give a brief, or I will just give a brief guidance as to what's a good number, and we'll explore a data model to see how, if we've got 8 dimensions in the data model, adding even 2 more dimensions can cause more complexity. So let's start. So what's a good number of dimensions for a data model in Power BI? Now these are numbers which are as per Ralph Kimball. So 5 to 15 is a good number as per some of the articles in mentioned by Ralph Kimball in four-dimensional modeling. 15 to 25 is probably not right. It seems to be on a higher side, and if you've got 25 plus dimensions, it could really make things very difficult and make it very difficult to traverse the model. So if you're looking at even 5 to 15, I think 15 is on the higher side because it makes the model very confusing and it's harder to traverse the model. And as you add more dimensions, it adds more complexity even with self-service BI and just a no-go zone. So ideally, you are looking at anything between 5 to 15 dimensions for a robust dimensional model in Power BI. Now, another thing you might want to talk about is the number of attributes in a dimension. So it is most probably a data modeler's call as to the number of attributes he wants to put in a dimension. But too many attributes can lead to rows in poor performance. So essentially, you could have millions of rows in a dimension table, and let's say you've got 200 columns. That could create a really wide table. And because Power BI will load everything into memory, it might slow down the performance. Also, it's very hard for the users to browse the data model. So in this case, you might want to split a dimension into multiple dimensions. So that's a good way to go. And it makes models slightly more usable. And now what we'll do is we'll just quickly look at how, so I've got a Power BI file with me, and I'll show you what 8 dimensions and 10 dimensions could quickly turn out. So let's say, so over here, look at 8 dimensions. So we've got 8 dimensions here, and this is how the data model looks, and it is probably manageable for a user if they were to try and traverse it. But let's just go at adding, and we'll just look at 10 dimensions, and you can see that it's added a lot more complexity to the data model. So you can imagine if we had maybe 5 more dimensions, how complicated the data model will look. So this is your fact table, and rest of them are dimension tables. And similarly, so if you just compare the 8 dimension versus 10 dimension, you can see the addition of complexity which has been added to the data model. So imagine if you've got a data model with 25 plus dimensions or even 15 plus dimensions, it will make it very cumbersome to navigate. It will create a lot of confusion. It will also make the model very slow. So as a thumb rule, prefer using 5 to 15 dimensions in the data model in Power BI. So I hope you find this video useful, and thanks for watching this video. Please let me know if you would like me to take any specific topics. Cheers, bye.